though from Riley.
Yeah, and what's really tough for Igor is he's having to use a lot of his best responses to the Royal Giant for offense. So he's finding himself in a really tough spot of being able to create offense and then deal with the counter push.
Interesting. Yeah, good call. I think, honestly, the Monk is just so strong here. Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been putting in a ton of work, especially against that Furnace. And when you talk about the Spirit Empress, even though it's not really reflecting as much, or I mean, it's not as much about the reflection, it's just about that tankage on the board. And now Igor recognizing the power of the Spirit Empress, kind of right when you did 2 Mega Knights, a Spirit Empress on the board, a Furnace, and now you imagine a late Ram Rider. There's the Ram Rider.
Okay, Monk ability with Fireball on defense and slowing the Ram Rider, deflecting the Spirit Empress. Wow, the Monk really clutching. The defense is not over. Still 30 seconds left. Lumberjack, Evo Furnace on board. Another Fireball. These Fireballs have been really solid on defense.
I was just going to say, it's insane how quick he's been getting back to the Fireball, and now we all know MK pretty easy to control. Here's the Heal Spirit plus the Ram Rider. Nice Heal Spirit there. Fireball's in. Ram Rider should be able to get the tower. Ooh. It does! It does!
Oh my gosh!
And Igor is going to take it!
Wow! Igor is literally getting up, jumping up and down on his bed in a celebration, taking down Riley with an absurd amount of pressure. It was a Mega Knight after Mega Knight. You name it, the Fireball is finally a second too late from Riley, and that's all it takes for Igor to take the best of 3. Wow, insane plays. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and I think even the soundboard got excited there. Just bursted through the ears as Igor. I didn't even know Igor had that in him to jump up in the bed like that. Absolutely hyped after taking down the number 2 in the world last year. And just a great recognition of like what was and wasn't working. I think at the same time that you and I were talking about how quickly Riley was getting back to the Fireball, Igor goes, all right, well, if you're going to have Fireballs on the board over and over and over again, I need more Mega Knights and I need more Spirit Empresses, because those are the cards that are not affected by the Fireball as much, but they still need to get Fireballed off the board. Absolutely great stuff there from our former world champion.
Man, all right, looking at the picks here, game 1, we saw a terrible matchup over Riley. Could not break through the guards, the minions, you name it. We talked about it. Number 2, we saw the reverse here. We saw a terrible matchup for Igor. He honestly, it made it look like he had a chance. He really did. He played the best he could, but really ended up winning in the end there. And then kind of a reverse here. I mean, Igor just said, you know what? That Mega Knight looks pretty good. Let me go and grab that. And he's going against the RG. I think that overall, like, I don't know exactly who has matchup here. Like, it seems like, you know, maybe it was that kind of, like, more even matchup we were looking for. You know, Riley did a great job of using his Monk to, you know, deflect the Spirit Empress, the Furnace, and just the massive tankage as well as deflecting the Ram Rider. A lot of people don't know, Monk will deflect the Ram Rider as well to slow itself down using its own snares. But eventually, Igor was able to outcycle the Monk, outcycle that Fireball, and put himself in a situation where he was just able to break through in the final seconds of the match, taking the best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely incredible. And that is exactly what we were talking about that we wanted to see, right? We saw 2 dominant matchup-decided games in 1 and 2, and then game number 3, things were evened out. You had to really see these players work on the fly to kind of figure out, what do I need to take advantage of? What do I need to pick apart? And it was Igor that ended up coming out on top. And I gotta say, some really good zaps there from Igor too. It's one of the cards that I feel like has kind of gotten forgotten about as Evos have kind of moved, or as we've gotten more and more Evos in the game. Obviously spells like Bind coming into the game. It feels like Zap is just not super popular, but Igor did a great job of getting a handful of Zaps in to clean up the last little bit of HP on units to then allow that Ram Rider to connect. And while the Heal Spirit wasn't super effective, it definitely found its spot a few times for Igor. It didn't feel that way with Riley, but obviously the part of that conversation that we were talking about was, while the Heal Spirits weren't doing a ton of healing, they were really helpful in the cycle with the Monk to get those Fireballs out over and over again. And my goodness, that was just 2 absolutely incredible sets between Pedro, Ian, Igor, and Riley, and obviously Pedro and Ian's was one-sided on paper. If you watch those matchups, they were incredibly close games. And then we go to our matchup number 7 between Igor and Riley. That is just a great best of 3. So right now, in our upper bracket semifinals, we have a world champion in Mo Light, 2-time world champion. You have a world champion in Igor, and then you have Pedro, who was runner-up just a couple years ago. So, it gets really tough here in CRL as you get closer and closer to that championship spot. One thing to note, obviously, is that Mo Light already has a golden ticket and that Pedro already has a silver ticket. Igor pretty much securing a spot in the LCQ at this point. Juicy, I think, after we were talking about early on in the day, points-wise, getting this far into the semifinals, it feels like we will definitely be seeing him next weekend. And of course, we have that last matchup, the one that I've been really, really excited about, seeing OP Sam in a monthly final, especially in a beatdown meta. Going to be great to see him back, great to commentate his matches. I really am a big fan of Sam as a person and as a player. And similarly with Sandbox, we saw Sandbox get super hyped up, winning earlier on against Viper after that beautiful Hog EQ Lightning game from Viper. Sandbox was able to lock it down in game number 3. So this is really interesting. I would definitely have to give Sandbox the edge on paper, just because over the last handful of years, he really has been the guy that's showed up more than Sam. But I got to say, Sam has really been grinding this year. You've been seeing him more and more. He's streaming a ton. He's getting really high on top ladder. Obviously, one of the best 2v2 players in the world in CRL and on 2v2 ladder with Morton, Goten. This is going to be a really interesting matchup. It could go either way for me.
No, yeah, I agree. I think that Sam, like, this is just his meta, you know, not only for, like, him being good at beatdown, but, I mean, his nickname that you guys have given him for so many years, the Mad Scientist, like, it really seems like this meta is so conducive to that, because there's just, I mean, we've been talking about, there's so many options. There's so many options for cards to play, you know, with the Furnace, the Witch. I mean, there's just so many super strong cards, and Sam does a great job of just making these decks that just kind of like take all the OP cards, smash them perfectly together to just make an absurd like deck that is just almost impossible to stop. So I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of that from Sam. It's really on Sandbox to see if he can, you know, kind of I don't know if he can outplay Sam's game there. He might have to switch to more of that control that he's known for with like E-Giant and Graver. See if he can try to control and slow down those big pushes.
That's a great point that you make, and that's actually what I was thinking about. And you know what? The question will get answered right now is, you know, if you're Sandbox, is that what you do? Do you go for something that is control? Already we're seeing Sam with the Pancake Tower. But just because it's the Pancake Tower doesn't mean it's going to be the traditional Gob Giant deck that we're used to seeing.
It's true.
Little Furnace.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. You know, like, oh my, like, this is exactly what I was saying. Sam has a Pancake Tower, but he doesn't have a P.E.K.K.A or a Goblin Giant Evo. He brings the Evo Furnace and Evo Baby Drag. I don't think I've ever seen... Okay, wait, I was lying. I was so focused on the fact that we haven't seen Golem today. I didn't even think of it as an option, but of course, Sam is the one to bring it out with the Evo Furnace, Evo Baby Drag, Golem. Very solid.
Well, this is exactly what we were saying earlier, right? We were just talking about, you know, why haven't we seen Golem yet? Is it going to be good in CRL? And then we were like, well, if anyone could run it, it might be someone like Sam or Sweep. And here we go. Sam coming out with it in game number 1. Also, Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A is maybe the most popular it's ever been in the meta as of late.
So true. Yeah, it did get a like slight HP buff not too long ago, maybe a few months ago. And once again, it kind of just like flew under the radar. It's very similar to like Witch Evo and other cards, but just kind of flew under the radar for a long time. And then, boom, Baby Drag Evo enters the arena, and Baby Drag Evo speeding up the mini packages to the tower. It just makes it so strong. You gotta watch out for that
guy. And, you know, Sandbox does have a lot of great options to deal with a deck like this. Obviously, probably thinking about beatdown, so he's got the Cannoneer, obviously going to be good. Higher DPS, you've got the Ice Whiz to slow things down. The Skeleton Barrel is always going to create just a little bit of pressure no matter where it's played. And then, of course, the Guards, one of the best cards in the game when you talk about playing against beatdown, because, you know, just a lot of HP, not being able to get spelled off the board easily, high DPS.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like so focused on what's going on here. I really liked how Sam just he just waited to double elixir. He was leaking elixir, waited to double elixir, then dropped the golem. That allowed him to have enough to be able to defend this this off lane pressure. But wow, Sandbox with the lightning variation of the mortar, just going to clean his defense up pretty nicely. It's not going to stop Sam from dropping another golem in the back, and there's the chip damage. It's just golemite chip damage, really.
And decides to let this mortar lock on the right-hand side after a little bit of tankage on the left-hand side, and then here we go, Evo Barrel, just like we were talking about with the Ice Wizard behind. Needs to stop the bleeding now, though, as that mortar shot comes in with the Ice Wizard. That's spellable. He goes arrows on the left side, though.
Yeah.
Instead of arrows lightning on the right, Sandbox could have just won the game.
True. I mean, this is Sam's last chance here. Mini P.E.K.K.A level 12 at the bridge. Guards are already using the right side.
Wait. Oh my gosh, Juicy, he could have won the game. He could have won the game.
Oh my gosh. He could have won the game, but he didn't. Sam takes advantage of the arrows played on the left-hand lane. He goes all in, and he ends up taking almost both towers. Aimbox, I don't know. Maybe just a little bit of nerves. Wow, brutal.
That one hurts. I mean, I think he just goes, wow, I got so much damage on the right-hand side. I'm in the lead. As we say so often and have said for years, is you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you reach for it and then you're like, oh, I just sold.
Yeah.
This is kind of the opposite situation where Sandbox didn't recognize that he had already had the win locked up. The time was ticking down to 0. It didn't matter that there was a big push on the left-hand side. You lightning arrow that, and that's game over. We're on to game number 2. Sam comes out in game number 1 with Golem for the first time today and somehow steals it in the final moments. And my goodness, that is not how I thought that game was going to go. Gun to my head with 20 seconds left, that's not how I thought that game was going to end.
Yeah, I honestly, I do wonder about the defense too. Like, even with the arrows on defense, like, I would have thought that he wouldn't have like too big of a problem defending this push. Like, he had perfect defenses all game. It just really seemed like playing the arrows there made and Sandbox maybe realizing himself that he could have arrows lighting the tower. Like, it just kind of everything just fell apart. It was insane. I don't know. Maybe I have to rewatch that.
Yeah, and obviously, when you talk about being demoralized, it's really tough when you lose a game like that because it's all on you, right? It's not on your opponent in that moment. I mean, obviously, Sam still creates that pressure and creates the confusion. But if you're Sandbox, that's one that, like we were talking about before, Juice, you got to just swallow that pill, move on, and try to not think about what just happened for the last 5 minutes, which is really difficult to do, especially with all this money on the line, with those tickets on the line. And you can see Sam also, I didn't really see him that excited about what went down. I think he knows he got away with one there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, once again, it's the other thing, though, is like, maybe there was like a little bit of an excitement inside, but on the outside, it's like, I have another game to play. I mean, that's the thing about Sandbox too, right? Like, he's super locked in, no emotions, and then he lets them all release, like, after he's won or lost, for example. But yeah, good luck to both these players. Double Pancake Tower to start this game.
Here we go, game number 2. No HP advantage for the player with the Pancake Tower, as Juicy just said, as an Evo Witch comes out for Sam and for Sandbox. So at least riding the same wave are these two. And yeah, I mean, I think we're going to just see a straight up mirror match here, which honestly, if I'm Sam, I feel pretty good about. Machine connects there twice on tower. And a Prince comes down. Okay, so again, Mad Scientist doing what he does best. Witch doesn't get any more skellies out. There's the Minion Horde behind. And Minion Horde not going to be able to get cleaned off the board with those vines. There's the bar barrel, and now you wonder if Sam's going to be able to create more pressure right now. Or, no, probably just happening with... No, he does. I was going to say, Sandbox really low in Elixir. Those minions are not going to get taken out. Mini P.E.K.K.A does come down, but will still allow the Goblin Giant to get a couple stabs on the tower. Just one. 1809, 25-29. Sam doing a great job of recognizing the Elixir disadvantage there, and also seeing Minion Horde for the first time. And this is why we started calling the Mad Scientist back.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, the Mad Scientist. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, there's just so many OP cards now after the minion buff. I mean, the minion buff affected minions and Minion Horde. So, of course, Sam, he already used minions in the golem. Okay, I'm just going to use Gob Giant now. I'm going to use Gob Giant. I don't have Vines. I don't care. I'm just going to go Gob Giant Prince with that minion horde. And then his last 2 cards are probably going to end up being like a Rage plus Curse or Rage plus even Lightning, maybe.
I really like the Prince choice here from Sam as well because, you know, he didn't have the mini P.E.K.K.A anymore, but he goes with another super high single target DPS card. And obviously the Evo Witch is a pretty frustrating card to deal with as well when you're playing Golem.
There's the Lightning. Doesn't hit the Baby Drag Evo, though. Golem sped towards the tower as well as... look at his Gob Machine. Walk on the Witch.
Yeah.
It's level... Lost on the Witch again. There it goes.
Wow.
Like a slaying.
Sam is in trouble.
It doesn't hit tower, but you're right. He is in trouble. The mini pack is oh my gosh. Andrew.
That's it.
What am I looking at here?
Wow, Sam just completely overrun there by Sandbox and, you know, does a great job early on getting some good damage on tower, but the defense just completely falls apart. The level 12 Goblin Machine and the 3 crown. First 3 crown of the day, question mark? There it is.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. What? Did he have like 3 invisible elixir pumps or something? Like
I know.
The Golem push never stopped. It was Golem with a leveled up God Machine. God Machine's firing everywhere. That's what the power of the God Machine really.
Yeah.
It's like
it's so hard to control.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because it's just sitting there. It's taking out the Witch in 2 hits. It's sped up by the Baby Dragon. You have to defend it. It's a range unit and a melee unit at the same time. And then all of a sudden he has 2 of them on the board. And it's just, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, after that first wave of defense comes out against the Goblin Machine, once it starts moving on the board and you start not panic placing units, but you got to play units closer to your Princess Tower, then all of a sudden they're just kind of cannon fodder. We saw right there, a level 12 Goblin Machine, 2 shots takes out that Witch, and that was really the big deciding factor, at least in my opinion. I think if that Evo Witch stays alive there, I think Sam's able to defend, and we might still be seeing the end of this game play out, but great. I mean, it's not RNG, right? The only RNG card is truly Graveyard.
Yeah, right.
When you talk about the ability to control a card on defense, that Goblin Machine feels like RNG sometimes.
Yeah, I totally get, and you're totally right. An interesting nerf idea that I saw from, I forget who mentioned it, maybe I don't know, but either way, the proposition was make Goblin Machines target more obvious. Versus Fisherman, sometimes you don't know exactly who's going to lock onto, but he's always facing what he's going to lock onto.
Oh, I see.
The Goblin Machine, it's really hard to know exactly where that rocket is about to go. And it's almost like a good nerf would be a charge up time. And then also, I don't know, it's just so hard to know where it's going to go. And it just does so much damage as well.
I know. I mean, you talk about how well the balance team has done for the game over the last year or two, and it's just one of those things where that is a card that is so difficult to figure out what exactly needs to be changed about it. I don't know if it's less damage from the rocket or like you said, maybe a charge up time or maybe it's about a targeting and then the shot as opposed to just it's close and it's on your tower, it's on your defensive unit, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And, that I think at least the one thing that Sam can hold on to is that had it not been for that Goblin Machine getting on the Witch, that game would not have been as dominant as it was. So You've got 2 massive confidence swings here. And Sandbox, again, I've said this so many times. Sandbox probably hates me saying it, but the confidence was an issue on the live stage. What I think I really love about his way to kind of adjust to it is the over celebration now when he wins. Right? It seems like that's almost his own way of hyping himself up and staying super confident. And honestly, right now, I mean, he's got all the reasons in the world to be. So getting ready for game number 3 here. Both these guys trying to decide what they want to come out with. Sam has gone only beatdown through the first 2 games, so I'd love to see him maybe go something with a little bit quicker, but that's not really his style. Don't want him to play out of comfort just to try to make something happen. But as you guys can see, the average elixir cycle for these 2 players is kind of exactly what you'd expect. They are known for playing heavier decks, 3.9, 4.5, 3.6, 4.1, and Sandbox decides to change things up.
Indeed, yeah. Sandbox going to some hog. Sam with the Goblet Ice Spirit really could be about anything. After seeing Evo Knight, it's like almost always going to be Graveyard. Yeah. Evo Knight is just, it's just like the one Evo. It's like, wow, it just really goes well with the Graveyard, and it's not too crazy with other things. It's just because Evo Knight's his ability to tank for so long is just such a good synergy with Graveyard.
And the high Berserker there to keep, maybe the Berserker, or excuse me, to keep the Monk kind of where he needed it so it doesn't reflect anything, and obviously the Wizard doesn't get a lot of damage in either, or at least a lot of presence, I should say, not damage necessarily.
Right. Yeah, I really like this pick from Sandbox. I think this is maybe a deck that if he would have played game one, it could have been pretty good versus this Golem deck. But it's just a strong pick because, once again, we talked about the Monk plus Wizard combo. But you pair it with the RG, or rather you pair it with the Hog, it does a good job of controlling these hyper beatdown decks. Sam, on the other hand, bringing the Evo Exy here, not having Witch or Furnace available, it makes sense. I think he's also doing the same thing. He's like, Sandbox is good at beatdown. Let's bring the Executioner and deal with it. So now we have like a Spider-Man meme where both of the players are like pointing at each other. And we'll see. We'll see. We have kind of a double control mirror here.
Yeah, Sam's been doing a good job of creating just enough damage to make it so that that Monk can't cross the bridge effectively time and time again. But that being said, Sam has also not found a way to create any offense, probably waiting to just have a little bit more elixir at his disposal, which is the right thing to do. You know, a lot of times when I'm playing against Hog Rider decks that do so well in single elixir, I try to like even up the damage as fast as I can, when really what I need to do until we get to double elixir is just kind of slow the pace so that I have enough defense on the board. That's exactly what Sam's doing right now.
There's the Graveyard and Sandbox of the block at the bridge. Really smart play. Very common idea. Very instructive moment there, just to make it so your Princess Tower can keep targeting the skeletons. The Graveyard, it does get a little bit of damage, but overall Sam holds on to, Sandbox holds on to the damage lead.
There's very few like if-then situations. Ooh, and that Ice Spirit plus the Hut just pushes that Hog a little bit out of range. Getting kited in the middle. What I was going to say is there's very few 100% if-then situations in Clash Royale. A lot of times there's like nuance that comes into that conversation. But I think one of those, Juicy, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, especially being a Graveyard player, is you need to block at the bridge. Like always. Always do you want to block at the bridge when you're going up against Graveyard. Sometimes you might think, oh, well, they know I'm going to block at the bridge. It doesn't matter. You got to block at the bridge.
Yeah, there's definitely some mind games that gets into it, but you're right. You really do need to block at the bridge because, like we talked about, like you just said, Graveyard is the only true RNG win condition or anything in Clash Royale. It's the only true RNG. So to help mitigate the RNG, blocking the bridge, allowing your tower to help versus the skeletons makes it so it's not quite as oppressive. But at the same time, the good Graveyard players, they're going to go for something like a Knight of the Bridge, and then they're going to play it. Yeah, then they're going to not play the Graveyard. They're going to play something else, and then try to win the bridge battle. Then it turns into like a big bridge battle, and that's what we're going to probably end up seeing here as we're heading into overtime.
There you go, block the bridge. Knight comes out exactly what we were just kind of talking about happens here. Sam baits out the response, gets the poison value in. Now probably going to go for some sort of Graveyard. I mean, he really needs to with only 40 seconds remaining, and Sandbox doing a good job recognizing that and just goes right back on offense.
Ooh, this Wizard splashing both Exys really, and this is what I'm talking about. This is Sandbox winning the bridge battle here with that Wizard, and he continues to apply pressure and continues to block at the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sam needs to figure out a way to either eat damage or defend that Hog without playing the Goblin Hut, because while the Goblin Hut's doing a good job, it's just so expensive.
Yeah, another Goblet drops here, and you're right, it is super expensive. It's gonna make it so another Graveyard can drop down, and there's just not enough time. Sandbox, big celebration, let's go, wins two. Oh my gosh, this guy gets me hype every time I watch him play. Oh my god, I love it. 2-1 Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy doing a great job, and so far, Juice, your prediction looking good. Sandbox with a big let's go into the